Hey, what's happening, everyone? I am your Dragon God of Gaming, Damien Dragon, and welcome to the best and worst of 2024. Yes, where, because as you guys know, and this is going to be probably a thing that's going to be going on for a very long time, the CPU Civil Wars tournament ended yesterday. So this spot is open. So, I'm going to go through the best and worst of this year from not only my videos, but streams. So, first off, I think you guys want to hear what I think about my videos this year and what was the best and what was the worst. So, let's start with the best. I have in front of me my videos for the year because Lord knows I did a lot of videos this year. So, what was the best games of this year? So first off, I do want to give a couple honorable mentions. First off, I do want to give an honorable mention to Luigi's Mansion. Luigi's Mansion was extremely fun, but it was on the tail end of Celeste. So, but Luigi's Mansion was extremely fun. I loved playing Luigi's Mansion. I loved how it all played out, and it was just extremely fun. Anytime I go into Luigi's Mansion, it's always just a fun time. Other than that, the other two I would say is Skullgirls. Skullgirls is a honorable mention because there's a few others that were just over it. So, and the other honorable mention would have to be my rendition from Sly Cooper and the Thieves' Reckoners. I loved it. I loved it to pieces. So, what was my top three favorite from this year? Number three has to go to Princess Peach Showtime. Has to. Has to. Princess Peach Showtime was just one of those games where I was extremely excited for, and it did not disappoint. Everything about Princess Peach Showtime was just incredibly fun, incredibly insane. Everything was just over the fucking top. It was just so fucking mind blowing. From all of her outfits to her new abilities to just the theater itself was just extremely nice. It was just a fun time just to go through, and the ending was just pure love. So love it to pieces. Okay, number two. Number two has to go to Celeste. Has to go to Celeste. Celeste was just one of those games where it just let me be as creative as possible. The game was extremely nice. I was thinking that I was gonna lose my fucking mind playing it from, some of the things I seen, but the characters were endearing, the story was extremely nice. Just climbing it was in general was just a very fun thing. Background elements of it and how creative I was able to get with the characters was just beautiful. The set pieces were amazing. Where you was just was good, even though it was a very short series of episodes. It was still one of the most endearing. I loved it to pieces. I loved it. So Celeste has taken my number two. And if I have to say my number one, they gotta go to Logo City Undercover. I was so fucking. It was just pure, just chef's kiss. The references, the open world, just the cheeky humor. The characters themselves are just extremely fun. Everything was just so on point. There is no way I couldn't let it take it. So it was just so fucking good. It was so good. So Lego City Undercover, it was just humorous. I couldn't stop shaking my head, and I was trying not to laugh so fucking hard at it. It was just pure gold in tight compact form. Tight compact form. So Lego City Undercover definitely takes my top spot. Okay, now we did the best, What was the worst of my videos? What did I feel like wasn't good? So there's only one honorable mention, well, dishonorable mention for this. And it doesn't make it onto the list because it wasn't as terrible. It wasn't terrible, but it still was there just to be there, which was Security Breach. I still loved Security Breach. Security Breach was not that bad, but by the point where it came out, and it's only out the dishonorable mentions just because it wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong. The game wasn't bad. Security Breach was extremely good. The problem with it was it came at a point where I was so just at that point losing it on my time with the FNAF that it was just it came at a disadvantageous time for Security Breach. It came at a really bad time. So Security Breach gets its dishonorable mention. It doesn't make it to the list just because it just came at a bad time. The game wasn't bad. Any game that lets me just destroy the animatronics is good in my books. But it just came at a worse time this year where I was just turned off. So, so what is my top three worst? Number three, as much as it pains me to say, because it doesn't deserve it doesn't deserve it, but it did. It was Suicide Squad in April. Suicide Squad was just repetitive in nature. I'm like, I loved playing Harley Quinn, and it came around the time where Miss Sorkin had died, which was the voice actor of Harley Quinn, and around the time Kevin Conroy had passed away as well. So it was a lovely homage to them, and in honor of the voice actress for Harley Quinn. I played Harley Quinn the entire time, and it takes my number three just because it's not any higher because of Harley. Harley was just a godsend of that series. The She was the godsend. I loved Harley. You guys know I have an affinity for Harley Quinn, and it pains me to say that the game fell flat and still is currently falling flat. So I got through it, and I'm just like, is that fucking it at the end? And that's not something I wanted to say at the end. And how they treated Batman, and I know that they're doing another. Rocksteady is going back to Batman, just regular Batman, which is beautiful. And I will be playing that when it drops. But they they did this to themselves. I couldn't. Anyway, um, number two. Number two, that it's a hard one because from the games left, there's not a lot. So the number two will be the last two will be from the same month. Number two, FNAF Help Wanted. It was just like when I played it was something that I didn't even need to do. And it doesn't take this spot because of what it is, because it's a lovely like run back of the games. But around that same time, I'm just like, it's around that time where I started losing my fucking shit with FNAF. And you guys can guess the number one. But FNAF Help Wanted was one of those games where it was just there to be there, and I didn't really want it to be. Now, there was a lot of Sunday videos I had throughout the year. some would say, why don't you just put Assassin's Creed or something on there? Which, mind you, I could. I could. But I'm not going to. Because um Assassin's Creed really doesn't deserve to be in that spot. I could also put Bendy and the Ink Machine in the front, but that's a week of threes episodes. I'm not doing the week of three episodes because they're always on point. But Lord have mercy, there was just a lot in FNAF Help Wanted that was just unnecessary. So for me, so it takes my number two. Actually, you know what? I would switch. Those two can be switched. Suicide Squad and FNAF Help Wanted. If if anything, uh, I would just say it's a dishonorable mention because it really wasn't even terrible, but it was just it's tedium. So anyway, number one, number one has to be FNAF Core Collection. The one set of episodes where I was genuinely just wanting it to be over. I never wanted a set amount of episodes to be over as much as I thought it would. And that's crazy to say. That was the time where I was just like, I can't do this. I can't do this. Now, around the time of FNAF 4 Collection, there was also Mary's Arcade. Mary's Arcade was something else entirely. It doesn't belong near this list. Why? Because the game itself was fun. What wasn't fun was when it was broken and where it kept on breaking on me. And you guys seen that. But the FNAF Core Collection was around that point where I physically wanted it to be over. And I never want, and that's something I really don't like to do when I'm playing these games for you guys. I don't want everyone to say, I want this shit to be done. Which is mind boggling to me. And I think I overly did this to myself. For the simple fact of it is, I took on all four of the original games on my own. And if it wasn't for the help of a couple of toggle modes that I could have toggled on, I would have I would have lost my fucking mind. Because FNAF 1 in and of itself was not terrible. I FNAF 1 put that to one side. FNAF 2, too many cooks in the kitchen. FNAF 3, Springtrap is a bitch. Still to this day is a bitch. I will never, ever forgive Springtrap. Ever. I beat that game and I will owe it always to Foxy. Foxy helped me beat that. It was Foxy and only Foxy. I beat that game because of Foxy. If Foxy did not glitch the way he did, I would have been stuck where I was that entire time. I would not have completed it. And then FNAF 4, the sound cues were fucking me up more than anything else. I can't even say the gameplay was bad. It was just that the audio, as you guys know, I was posting them through these. These are really fucking good headphones. Really good headphones. Now, imagine not being able to hear a fucking single thing. It was just, oh. And then by the end, I wanted to never pick up another. I never wanted to see some of these characters again. I really did not. And it was very helpful that, as it was going, FNAF Help Wanted was going. So that's what also soured me. But I thank God that we had March, April, May, June, July to get our heads back on straight before we had to go to Security Breach. And that's not to, discredit Monty, Roxy, or, some of the new characters. I didn't want to do that to them because, to be honest, I can't place Security Breach on that same level because they're wholly separate animatronics. Well, besides Chica, but she has a new design. Glamrock Freddy, Glamrock Freddy, he absolved Freddy in my eye. I can say this with a 100% certainty for you guys. Glamrock Freddy absolved Freddy of his crimes from the past. Freddy really didn't do nothing to me in the original series. He didn't. Out of no FNAF games I ever played, I have never really been attacked by Freddy. And FNAF 2, I was attacked by a lot by Freddy, but he never took me out. FNAF 3, he was a nuisance. FNAF 4, that was Nightmare Fredbear and Golden Freddy. I can't place Freddy on that same level as like Chica or Bonnie. Well, I can't place them on the same pedestal as Bonnie. Bonnie's on that pedestal because no matter what game I put him in, he's always a dick. I can't place Chica nowhere near him. Foxy was a homie. He attacked me. He killed me a couple times, but he's a homie. Bro's a homie. I cannot put some of them on the same level as Bonnie. So if you want to know my little tier list of hatred, Bonnie is number 1. Number 2 will be Springtrap. Number 3, Chica. Number 4, Freddy. Number 5, Fox. You know what? Number 4 is Foxy. Number 5 is Freddy. Freddy is at the low end. Why? Because he doesn't do shit to you. He really does not. If you play well enough, Freddy will never touch you. Except when you literally end your own self in the original games. If you lose power, yes, he will attack you. And you know what? I can't even put Puppet nowhere near that fucking pedestal. Puppet does something else. If you're good enough, you will never be attacked by the puppet. Not once. So I can't put Puppet nowhere near here. And Mangle is just an asshole. Balloon Boy's an asshole. They really don't attack you like that. I never got taken out by Mangle. Not in my core collection. Maybe earlier in my career, I did. Don't remember. And Balloon Boy is just an asshole. He really doesn't do nothing to you. He's just there to be there. So that's why I'm saying there's only so much you can put. It's just all annoying. Anyway, I went on for a long tangent on this. So let's just go off here and give my top stream from this year. The top 2 from my streams, because, well, I did a lot of streams and they're really spaced out from this year. But for my streams, what I could personally say is my top 3 would be top 3. Number 3 would be Crash Bandicoot Warped. Nope, Wrath of Cortex. That's 1 because the game was extremely nice. Pokemon Scarlet, because the DLC, because that started at the beginning of the year as well. Well, somewhat. The Indigo Disc did start 2023, but it ended in 2024. And one of my favorites, the first favorite would be the murder of Sonic the Hedgehog because it was a nice 3 segment stream where it was just all fun. The story was fun. It was just really fun just to see all the characters in there, and we get to just see, try to solve a mystery. It was really fun. Honorable mention goes to GTA. The worst streams, there is only two. There's only two, and that I could personally put here. And that would have to be because Spyro Spyro himself, he gets put into a honorable mentions category because it was good. Prince of Persia was extremely nice. So they get a honorable mention. The dishonors comes from two. Phoenix Wright itself. It was more tedious than it was fun. I'm like, okay, the gameplay itself was fun. That's why it's only number two. The gameplay was fun. The, story beats were fun itself. I never needed to use so many fucking lists in my life just to get through everything. So I won't be like, because the game itself was just incredibly weird. And at the end of it, oh my god, 4 hours on stream to beat that last episode because it went on longer than it needed to. Lord have mercy. And number one would have to be Batman Vengeance. When I literally swollen my hand to beat your game is fucking insane. I swollen up my hand to beat the game and I didn't even beat it. At that point, I called it quits. When my viewers are literally, when my viewers are looking at me and asking me if I'm okay after a stream, that's not a good stream. And it was down to the controls themselves. Now, hold on, let me see something real quick. What platform was it for? It is for PlayStation 2. Maybe one day I will come back and play the PlayStation 2 version. Not the game. It was the GameCube version I was playing. So maybe the PlayStation 2 version would run a lot more better. Hopefully. Hopefully. But as for now, the GameCube version of Batman Vengeance that we played earlier this year takes my top spot because I've never had to hurt myself to do it. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that was the best and worst of my year of 2024. Thank you guys so much for watching. We still have a lot to cover, and thank you guys so much. Tomorrow, we still have reading your comments, the last one of the year. So stay tuned. It's going to be incredible. And this coming Thursday, will be the start of the 7 days of Christmas. Una Christmas. So we're gonna be getting started. So stay tuned, stick around. You're not gonna miss anything that you guys have in store. So, oh, by the way, if you guys are wondering where like games like Super Mario Bros. Wonder, Batman Telltale, and Resident Evil Biohazard, Noxia Somnia, and Super Mario Galaxy Land, they lead themselves into their own category of extremely good. They're just extremely good. So I don't want you guys to think that I'm like leaving them out. Anything that I did not mention from this year in terms of videos or categories, they're in a good they're in their own good category. They did not make it to the worst. They didn't make it to my best, but they're in extremely good. They're in that center. So There's an extreme end of good, there's an extreme end of bad, and then there's the middle, which is definitively good. So, and I love them all. And if you're wondering what's at the top of extremely good, it has to be. It's a tie between Resident Evil and Super Mario Galaxy. Absolutely, absolutely. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much for listening. I appreciate you all, and I hope everyone has a beautiful day. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys for the 7 days of Christmas. See you guys tomorrow for more video comments and more Super Mario Galaxy. And at the tail end of this year, on New Year's Eve, we have the best of 2024, where I pick out the best and divide them into two separate areas. What's the best? We're just gonna have to figure out. Till then, peace. Thank you guys. See you guys next time. Peace out.